Michael Cobbs, this is a good question. How can we bring our communities together peacefully as one? We have to go into the community. We have to reach out to the people in the hoods, man, and the so-called ghettos, the so-called projects in the streets, and ask them what they need, man. Not be afraid to interact with our people, no matter what condition. Not be judgmental. Meet them where they are, and see them, see the God in them, and reach out to those individuals who are not in the streets but who have access to the resources that are necessary to improve the conditions of the people in the streets, and say, hey, look, man, we got to get out here and help our people. And if we can implement programs that can give people an alternative to certain lifestyles, then we got a shot. How can we put an end to racism? Well, there's a couple of ways. There's a couple of ways we can put an end to racism, man. When you say we, you mean us as black people, we can put an end to racism by getting the hell out of here and separating from the racists. That's when you say we, I'm assuming. Okay. Let's scroll down a little bit more, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Luckshaw, Fang, I see you, man. Michael Cobbs, do you think that robots will take over the world in the near future? No. Let me see. Thank you, Blue Oasis. Appreciate the love, man. Man. Let's see. I'm skipping good stuff. I know I am, man. I know I am. Explain the law of attraction. Um, it's just that, man. We are created to be drawn to one another in different ways. And we are also created with the capability and the mental ability to attract that which does not physically sit in our hands at the moment. So whatever the heart desires, whatever we have a mental longing for, we have the ability to pull that out of the universe because we need it. It's through necessity. Um, what's the purpose of life? Also, it's in our nature to attract. They say with a male to a female, there's a natural attraction that was deposited in us by the Creator. So that's automatic. What's the purpose of life? Man, the purpose of life is one of the purposes of life is to glorify God in this life and give life to others through His principles. To perpetuate life is one of the main purposes of life. So you have to understand how our existence is set up. This is you. This line, this marker represents you. This direction represents everything, every minute and second of time that existed before you. Then this is you. That direction represents every second of time that will exist for infinity in eternity after you. So what does that mean? That means that you were only here for a blink in time, and then there's infinity after that, and that was practically infinity before that. So with that being said, your goal and your purpose is to create as much of an eternal impact in your short amount of time on this planet that you can. So that's why you see individuals who only live to be 30 years old or 40 years old, and you still hear about them 100 years later, 1,000 years later, because their impact, the work they did was eternal. So that's your homework. What is the true purpose of death? Death is part of life. Death is a part of life. So at the end of the day, it's not necessarily, I wouldn't say that it is a purpose, but I guess it does have a purpose, because in order for something new to come, something old has to go. So I guess that would be a purpose, to say this has to move away in order for this to have its time now. All right? I can't answer the rest of them. I spent a long time on that.